First of all, thanks for being here in my YouTube channel. So in this lesson number 1 on the topic coordinate geometry, we are going to learn introduction about the topic circles. So remember that in measurement topic, right, already we have learned what is the formula for circles. That is not needed here, but remember that in measurement topic we have learned area of circle formula, circumference of a circle formula. But now in the topic coordinate geometry, you guys have to know two important stuff. One is what is called as chord, and second is a tangent. So only if you are strong in these two concepts, and 100% you should know the concept of chord, and also 100% you should know the concept of tangent. Only then you can able to solve a question on coordinate geometry that is based on circles. And everyone knows if it is a circle, you know what is called as a center point. So this will be call it as center, or otherwise we can call it as a fixed point. Got it? And every time we usually determine this as O, which determines the center of a circle. And next is a diameter and a radius, right? You guys have, you know, this is called as a radius and this complete line is called as a diameter, right? Okay. So now in this video we are going to discuss about the chords, and next video we are going to solve some question based on the concept called chords, and in lesson number 3 we can learn about tangent and we can solve some of the questions, right? So first, these are the points that you guys have to remember before solving a question that is based on a chords. So first, what is a chord? So listen here, a line segment joining 2 points on a circle is called as a chord. Remember that a line segment, right, joining 2 points on a circle. Let me take this is point number 1, that is point P. Got it? And I'm just taking this as point Q. And I'm going to join these 2 points by small line segment, which is called as a chord. So this P and Q is called as a chord. A line segment that is connecting 2 points on a circle is called as a chord. We can draw chord anywhere else. We can say point P here and point Q here, and we can say it's one of the chord, because the line segment joining 2 points on a circle is called as a chord. That's why we can draw a chord here and we can say it's one of the chord. Similarly, we can draw another chord here, another chord here. So the line segment, remember that the meaning of chord is any 2 points that is connected by a line segment is called as a chord, right? So this is point number 1 that you guys have to remember. So point number 2 is the largest chord. So largest chord have another name called diameter. So diameter can be also said as a largest chord. So remember that if a line segment that passes through the center point, then it is called as a diameter, or otherwise it can be called it as a largest chord. Friends, got it? We usually say this as a diameter, right? We say this as a diameter of the circle. So remember that this is point A and point B, and the line segment that is connecting 2 points on a circle, we used to call it as a chord. So if a chord passes through the center point, right, we can say this also. If a chord passes through the center point, then we can say this as a largest chord, or otherwise a diameter. Got it? So diameter, we have another term which is called as a largest chord. So chord, we know that what is the meaning of chord? A line segment that is connecting 2 points is called as a chord. What is called as a largest chord? A line segment that passes through the center point of the circle, then it is called as a largest chord, or otherwise we can say the same largest chord as a diameter. So note number 3. So note number 3 is a segment. So listen here, I am just going to draw any chord here. Let me assume this is point A and point B, and we can connect these 2 points by a line segment. So we can say A and B will be a chord. So this line segment divides the circle into 2 segments, right? Got it, friends? So this line divides the circle into 2 segments. That is, this segment is called as a major segment, and this is called as a minor segment. So minor is nothing but a minimum part. Major will be a maximum part. So a chord that divides a circle into a major segment and a minor segment. So remember that the word major determines the maximum part, because this chord divides a maximum part here and a minimum part at the below. So we can say this will be the minor part, that is minor segment, and this is called as a major segment, right? Got it? So in case, think that I'm drawing a chord here. So A here and B here. So A and B be the chord. So we can say which is the major segment and the minor segment. So this will be the minor segment minimum area, and this will be the major segment maximum area. So got it, friends. If if a chord passes through the diameter, that is if a chord passes through the center, then we can say we won't have a major and minor segment. So if a chord that passes through the center of the circle, then it divides the circle into two semicircles. Got it? So this is the thing that we call it as a major segment and a minor segment. And next is a sector. So sector is nothing but, for example, let we keep this as center point O, and we can say, if we can easily say this will be the one sector, right? We always know that, right? If it is a circle, we can split into four sectors, 6 sectors, 8 sectors easily. So according to this part, we can say this will be one sector, which is a minor sector, right? A small part, and the remaining will be the major sector. Got it, friends? Similarly, we can draw like this. Once you draw like this, then we can say it will be the minor sector, and this will be the major sector, a maximum part which is called as a major, and minimum part which is called as a minor. So this is called as a major sector and a minor sector. So next is a major arc and a minor arc. So the same word, for example, see here, friends, most important, let me fix. Think that this is an angle, something is like 30 degree here, and this will be the center point, and we can mention this as A and B. So the meaning of major and a minor arc is from A to B, right? It's just a small arc, right? A to B will be a small arc, so we can say A and B will be the minor arc. But when we talk about B to A, will be the major arc. Friends, got it? If we draw a sector like this, then we can say this will be the minor arc, because small portion we used to call it as a minor. So A to B will be the minor arc, but B to A will be the major arc. Sometimes the same thing can be also written as, they usually write like this, AB. At the top they used to determine like a small symbol, so which determines an arc, right? A to B will be the minor arc, and B to A will be the major arc. So this determines arc, right? So similar to the vectors, right? Usually in the vector topic we will be writing like this, A vector, B vector. So similarly in the geometry topic, if they determine like this, which is called as a arc. So A to B, a small part which is called as a minor arc, and B to A will be the major arc. Got it, friends? So this is called as minor and a major arc. And next is the equidistant. So equidistance is most important, so to solve many questions in the topic circle. So remember that if there are two chords, let me assume this is chord 1, P and Q here, and similarly we can assume another chord A and B here. Listen carefully, friends. If two chords of equal length, if two chords, that is P and Q and A and B, are equal in length, then the distance between both the chords from the center will also be same. That is called as equidistance. So friends, got it? If two chords of same length, then the distance between both the chords will also be same from the center. So this is called as an equidistance concept, because it's a circle, right? If both the chords are same in length, then we can surely say from the center point both the chords will be at the same distance. So which we used to call it as an equidistance. That's it, right? So next is a bisect. So now we have learned, it's most important because we will be solving many questions only based on the equidistance concept. So remember, equidistance is important. And next is bisect. So bisect is nothing but, for example, think that P and Q is a chord, right? So from the center point, if I draw a perpendicular line to the chord, it always bisects. The meaning of bisect is, it splits the line, right? It splits the line segment into two equal half. See here, we know that this is a chord. From the center point, I am drawing a perpendicular line to the chord. It bisects the chord at equal distance. Can you see? It's 90 degree. Definitely it will be 90 degree. And because of this perpendicular line, where this chord is divided into two equal half. So this will be one equal half and this will be another equal half. For example, any point, let me take this as P and Q. So P and Q. We can take another chord here. If I draw a perpendicular line from this center point to this chord, definitely this line will bisect. The meaning of bisect, it splits the line into two equal halves. So we can say this will be 90 degree. Friends, got it? Even if you draw a chord here, again if you draw a perpendicular line from the center point, it bisects. Similarly, if you draw a chord like this, from the center point, if you draw a perpendicular line, again it bisects the chord. That's it. Right? So the meaning of bisect is, it splits the line into two equal halves. So remember that if you draw a chord anywhere else in the circle, and if you draw a perpendicular line from the center point, definitely that line will be bisects the chord. So the last is the common chord. So common chord, let me assume this is circle number 1 with a center O, similarly circle number 2. A common chord is nothing but a chord that should be common for both the circles. So we can draw a line like this by connecting 2 points. So we can say this as A and B. So we can say A and B will be the common chord for both the circle, and this chord will be perpendicular to the line joining the center. This will be the line joining the center of two circles, which is perpendicular to that chord. Got it, friends? So remember that A and B will be the common chord, and also this A and B is the line that is perpendicular to the line joining both the centers. That's it, right? This is called as a common chord. So it's completely, there are many properties, there are many theorems, but that is not needed for the competitive exams, right? If you are going for a competitive exam, these are the segments are most important. So first you guys have to know what is called as a chord. What is chord? A line segment that is joining a 2 points on a circle is called as a chord. And what is called as a largest chord? If a same line segment, it crosses through the center point, then it is called as a largest chord. So we can also say the largest chord as a diameter. And next is a segment. So once we draw a chord anywhere else on the circle, it divides the circle into two halves, that is, one will be the major segment and another will be the minor segment. If a chord that passes through the diameter, then it splits the circle into two semicircles. And next will be the sector, and I have told you what is called as sector, and the major arc and the minor arc. So the same thing can also be written as arc AB, or otherwise they can write this as AB. So this is called as an arc, right? And next is equidistance. So the meaning of equidistance is if two chords are of the same length, then definitely both the chords will be equal in distance from the center point, which is called as an equidistance. So next is bisect. So bisect is nothing but it splits the line segment into two equal halves. So if from a center point, if we draw a perpendicular line to any of the chord, it always bisects an angle of 90 degree. And next is last will be the common chord, which I have told you now. So the common chord which is common to both the circles and which is perpendicular to the line joining the center. So that's it. And the next video we can solve some of the questions, important question that is based on a chords. And in lesson number 3 we can learn about tangent, and also we can solve some of the question on tangent. So after that, once you are strong in the concept of chord and a tangent, we can decide to solve some of the toughest question that is related to the competitive exams. So thank you so much. It's just a small video, but most important in the topic circle. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you really like it, share it to your friends so that your friends can also learn this. So thank you so much. Bye.